He came from the streets of West Philadelphia and went on to conquer the world of music, television, and film. Charismatic, talented, and complex, Will Smith is a name etched into the heart of popular culture. But behind the charm and the blockbuster success lies a story of triumph, failure, reinvention, and resilience. This is the story of Willard Carroll Smith Jr., the Fresh Prince who became a king in Hollywood. Will Smith was born on September 25, 1968, in West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was the second of 4 children in a working-class family. His mother, Caroline Bright, was a school board administrator. His father, Willard C. Smith Sr., was a refrigeration engineer and former Air Force veteran. Young Will was a bright student with a gift for gab. His nickname was Prince because of the way he could charm his way out of trouble. He attended Overbrook High School, where he excelled in academics and showed early signs of a performer with his razor-sharp wit and charisma. But his true love? Music. In the mid-1980s, at just 16, Will teamed up with his childhood friend Jeffrey Towns, a DJ known as DJ Jazzy Jeff. Together they formed the duo DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. In 1988, their single Parents Just Don't Understand won the first ever Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance. Will, at only 20, was suddenly one of the biggest names in hip-hop, a clean, comedic alternative to the harder rap styles emerging at the time. But fame came fast, and so did the money problems. By 1990, despite his growing popularity, Will Smith found himself in serious debt. He had failed to pay taxes on his earnings, and the IRS was after him. He was on the verge of financial ruin. Just when things looked bleak, opportunity knocked and in walked Quincy Jones. NBC was developing a sitcom that mirrored Will's life. The idea was simple. A street-smart kid from Philly moves in with his wealthy relatives in Bel Air. And so, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air was born. Will had no acting experience, but his natural comedic timing and charisma made him a breakout star. The show ran for 6 seasons from 1990 to 1996 and became a cultural phenomenon. It made Will Smith a household name and gave him a second shot at financial success. But Will wanted more. He didn't just want to be a TV star. He had his eyes set on something bigger. Will Smith set his sights on the silver screen. His breakout movie role came in 1995 with Bad Boys, alongside Martin Lawrence. The action comedy was a box office hit and proved that Will had what it took to be a movie star. But it was 1996's Independence Day that made him a global superstar. The film grossed over $800 million worldwide, and Will Smith became the face of summer blockbusters. The next year, he starred in Men in Black, another massive success. By the early 2000s, Will was not just starring in blockbusters, he was dominating them. He turned down The Matrix, a decision he later admitted regretting, but even that didn't slow him down. With movies like Ali, where he portrayed legendary boxer Muhammad Ali, Will earned critical acclaim and his first Academy Award nomination. He dove deep into the role, transforming physically and emotionally, showing the world that he wasn't just a funny man, he was an actor of depth. Soon after, the two decided to collaborate. Smith enlisted a friend, Ready Rock C, to join as the beatboxer of the group, making them a trio. Philadelphia-based Word Records released their first single in 1986 when A&R man Paul Oakenfold introduced them to Champion Records with their single Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble, a tale of funny misadventures that landed Smith and his former DJ and rap partner Mark Forrest, Lord Supreme, in trouble. The song sampled the theme song of I Dream of Jeannie. Smith became known for lighthearted storytelling raps and capable, though profanity-free, battle rhymes. The single became a hit a month before Smith graduated from high school. Based on this success, the duo was brought to the attention of Jive Records and Russell Simmons. The duo's first album, Rock the House, which was first released on Word Up in 1986, debuted on Jive in March 1987. The group received the first Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance in 1989 for Parents Just Don't Understand, though their most successful single was Summertime, which earned the group their second Grammy and peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Smith and Towns are still friends and claim that they never split up, having made songs under Smith's solo performer credit. Smith spent money freely around 1988 and 1989 and underpaid his income taxes. The Internal Revenue Service eventually assessed a $2.8 million tax debt against Smith, took many of his possessions, and garnished his income. Smith was struggling financially in 1990 when the NBC television network signed him to a contract and built a sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, around him. The show was successful and began his acting career. Smith set for himself the goal of becoming the biggest movie star in the world, studying box office success's common characteristics. In 1989, Smith was arrested in relation to an alleged assault on his record promoter, William Hendricks. The charges were later dismissed. During the late 1980s, Smith confirmed he briefly dated Sandra Denton, better known as Peppa of the hip-hop group Salt and Peppa. Smith married Cherie Zampino in 1992. Their son Willard Carroll Trey Smith III was born on November 11, 1992. The two divorced in 1995. Trey appeared in his father's music video for the 1998 single Just the Two of Us, and has also appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show and the David Blaine Real or Magic TV special. Smith married actress Jada Corin Pinkett on December 31, 1997. They met when Pinkett auditioned for a role as Smith's character's girlfriend in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The pair produced films through their joint production company Overbrook Entertainment and Westbrook Inc. Together they have two children, Jaden Smith, born 1998, his co-star in The Pursuit of Happiness and After Earth, and Willow Smith, born 2000. Who appeared as his daughter in I Am Legend. Smith and his wife Jada have expressed unconventional practices in their marriage, jokingly calling their commitment bad marriage for life. Both he and Pinkett Smith have admitted to having extramarital relationships and believing in the freedom to pursue them. Smith has said he wanted a polyamorous relationship with actress Halle Berry and ballerina Misty Copeland, but ultimately abandoned the idea after therapy. In October 2023, Pinkett Smith stated that she and Smith had been separated since 2016, though they have no intention to divorce. Will and Jada's marriage has been the subject of much public speculation, especially in the age of social media. Their openness on topics like marriage struggles, entanglements, and personal growth has sparked both admiration and criticism. In 2018, Smith celebrated his 50th birthday by performing a bungee jump from a helicopter in the Grand Canyon. Smith was insured by Lloyd's of London for $200 million for the jump, which raised money for the charity Global Citizen. In 2008, Smith was reported to be developing a film entitled The Last Pharaoh, in which he would be starring as Taharka. Smith later starred in the superhero film Hancock, which grossed $227,946,274 in the United States and Canada, and had a worldwide total of $624,386,746. On August 19, 2011, it was announced that Smith returned to the studio with producer Lamar Edwards to work on his fifth studio album. Smith again reprised his role as Agent J with Men in Black 3, which opened on May 25, 2012, his first major starring role in 4 years. After the release of the film, Smith was content with ending his work with the franchise, saying, "I think 3 is enough for me. 3 of anything is enough for me. We'll look at it and we'll consider it. But it feels like that it might be time to let someone else do that." Men in Black 3, released 10 years after Men in Black 2, grossed over $624 million worldwide. Unadjusted for inflation, it is the highest grossing film in the series. In 2013, Smith starred in After Earth with his son, Jaden. The film was a disappointment at the domestic box office and was panned critically, calling the film the most painful failure in my career. Smith ended up taking a 1.5-year break as a result. Smith starred opposite Margot Robbie in the romance drama Focus, released on February 27, 2015. He played Nicky Spurgeon, a veteran con artist who takes a young, attractive woman under his wing. Smith was set to star in the sci-fi thriller Brilliance, an adaptation of Marcus Saki's novel of the same name scripted by Jurassic Park writer David Koepp. But he left the project to work on the Ridley Scott-produced sports drama Concussion. In Concussion, Smith played Dr. Bennett of the Brain Injury Research Institute, the first to discover chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Smith reported he had doubts about the film early in the production, saying, "Some of my happiest memories are of watching my son catch and throw a football. I didn't want to be the guy who did a movie saying football could be dangerous." These views subsided when he met Omalu, whose words about American ideals resonated with Smith. Smith's performance was praised for being sensitive and understated. In 2016, Smith played Deadshot in the supervillain team-up action film Suicide Squad. Smith's participation in the film meant choosing it over a role in Independence Day. Resurgence, which he said would be like clinging and clawing backwards. While Suicide Squad was a massive financial success, earning over $700 million at the box office, the film received negative reviews from critics. Christopher Orr, film critic from The Atlantic, wrote that the latest offering from the DC Comics superhero universe may be the most disastrous yet. Later that year, Smith starred in director David Frankel's drama Collateral Beauty, playing a New York advertising executive who succumbs to a deep depression after a personal tragedy. Weeks after signing Smith onto the film, his father was diagnosed with cancer, from which he died in 2016. As part of his role required him to read about religion and the afterlife, he was brought closer to the elder Smith, calling the experience a beautiful way to prepare for a movie and an even more majestic way to say goodbye to my father. The film marked the lowest box office opening of Will Smith's career. The film also received near-universal negative reviews from film critics. Hollywood Reporter critic David Rooney criticized Smith's performance writing as the least interesting component in a madly overqualified cast. His film Bright was distributed via Netflix on December 22, 2017. An urban fantasy, it was the most expensive film for Netflix to date. Smith collaborated with his director from Suicide Squad, David Ayer. This would also be another critical disappointment for Smith, with critics panning the film. Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times criticized the film and Smith's performance writing. By the time Will Smith barks the line, "Dude, you can't go through Elftown." With 100% urgency and sincerity in the mind-boggling mess that is Bright, it's clear we are watching a truly terrible, mountainous pile of genre-blending garbage. For years, Will could do no wrong, but the mid-2010s saw a dip in his career. Films like After Earth and Collateral Beauty flopped, and some began to question if his star power was fading. But like all greats, Will knew how to reinvent himself. He returned with powerful performances in Concussion, King Richard, and even embraced social media, launching a YouTube channel that showcased his adventurous spirit and wisdom. In 2022, Will achieved a career-defining moment, winning the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Richard Williams, father of tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. But that night would be remembered for something else. During the live broadcast, Will Smith slapped comedian Chris Rock after a joke about Jada. The moment shocked the world and sparked global debate. The incident divided fans, fellow actors, and the general public. Some saw it as a moment of emotional overload, others as a regrettable display of violence. Will later apologized publicly, calling his actions inexcusable and stepping away from the public eye for a time. Despite controversies, Will Smith's legacy is undeniable. He's one of the most bankable movie stars in history, with over $9 billion in global box office earnings. He's a rapper, actor, producer, author, and entrepreneur. But more than that, he's a symbol of reinvention, of resilience, and of the complexity of human nature. He's used his platform to inspire with his book Will, with his motivational videos, and with his unfiltered honesty about mental health, fear, and failure. Will Smith once said, "Fail early, fail often, fail forward." And that's exactly what he's done. He's stumbled, fallen, risen, and continues to evolve. Will Smith's journey is not just about fame or fortune. It's about courage, the courage to dream big, to fall hard, and to rise stronger. He's lived a life in the spotlight, but his most powerful moments are those of human vulnerability. He may have started as the Fresh Prince, but today, through every success and every misstep, Will Smith has proven himself a king of reinvention, and his story is far from over. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Will Smith.